7.5. The objective of this lesson is to find a percent of change in a quantity. Percent of change just means how much a quantity increases or decreases with respect to the original amount. Percent of increase just means the new amount is greater than the original amount. Percent of decrease means the new amount is less than the original amount. Okay, so we can represent the percent of change as the amount of increase or decrease divided by or over the original amount. And we can rewrite this as P over 100 multiplied by the original amount equals the amount of increase or decrease. In other words, the original amount was multiplied to both sides of this equation. Okay, to find a percent of increase, for example, if my original amount is 20 and my new amount is 25, I could use this equation and sub in these values. So I'm looking for the percent. I'm going to write P over 100. My original amount is 20, write equal, and my new amount is 25. So I would take 25 and subtract 20 to get the amount of increase. Now I can first simplify 20 and 100. Okay, and then that would be P over 5 equal to 25 minus 20, which is 5. And then I need to multiply both sides by the reciprocal of 1 over 5, which is 5. And cancel the 5. So the percent of increase is 25%. And here, the original amount is 150. The new amount is 189. And we would do the same thing. P over 100 times the original amount of 150. And the amount of increase would just be 189 minus 150. Okay, and we can simplify the left-hand side. Okay, and then the right-hand side we can subtract. 189 minus 150 is just 39. And then get 3p over 2. And then we can multiply by the reciprocal of 3 over 2, which is 2 over 3. Cancel the 3 and the 2. So your percent of change would be 26%. And for the next problem, we have P over 100 times the original amount of 55. The new amount of 143, subtract 55. So I can simplify the left-hand side by 5. 11p over 20. And 143 subtract 55 is 88. And I can multiply by the reciprocal of 11 over 20, which is 20 over 11. And then cancel the 20 and the 11 on the left-hand side. So P is 160%. To find a percent of decrease, you do the same thing. So n over 100 times, well, it doesn't matter, you could use any variable. Okay, and original, you would write 20, and 20 subtract 15 is just 5. That's the amount of decrease. And then we can simplify. Okay, and multiply both sides by the reciprocal of 1 over 5, which is 5. And then n would be 25%, and this would be the percent of decrease. And for the next problem, n over 100 times original 75, and the new amount is 35, so the amount decreased is 75. Subtract 35 is 40. Okay, we set that equal to 40, and we can simplify. 75 and 100 is 3/4. And then we can multiply both sides by the reciprocal of 3 over 4, which is 4 over 3. Cancel out the 4 on the left-hand side. Take down the n, and we get 160 over 3. And can rewrite that as 53 1/3%. And for this problem, we do the same thing. Set n over 100, multiply by the original amount of 102, which equals to 51, because the amount of decrease is 102, subtract 51, which is still 51. And then we can simplify 102 over 100. So 51 over 50. And then we can multiply by the reciprocal of 51 over 50, which is 50 over 51. And we cancel out the 50 and the 51 on the left-hand side. Take down the n. And on the right-hand side, we can cancel out the 51 to get 50%. Technically, we didn't really need to solve this problem because, as you can see, the amount of decrease is the half of 102. So we can automatically deduce that the percent of decrease is 50%. Earlier, you learned how to find the percent of increase or decrease. Now you're going to learn how to find the new amount after a percent increased or decrease. So when there's an increase in amount, you can take 100%, add the given percent of increase, multiply that by the original amount to get the new amount. To get the decrease in amount, you can take 100%, subtract the percent decrease, multiply by the original amount to get the new amount. For example of increase in amount. I can use this equation. So I can take 100%, add 20%, multiply that by 45, which is the original amount. So I get 120 over 100 times 45. And after we simplify, 12 divided by 2 is 6. 10 divided by 2 is 5. And then I can simplify 5 with 45. Then 6 times 9 is 54. Another way to do this is to take the original amount of 45 and add 45 times 20%. And you would also get 54. I'm going to work this out for you. See? Same thing. Okay, and okay, let's do a practice problem. Take 100%, okay, and you add 75% because we want to increase the original amount of 120 by 75%. Okay, and we can multiply that by 120. And then we get 175 over 100 times 120. And we can simplify. 12 divided by 2 is 6. 10 divided by 2 is 5. And 175 divided by 5 is 35. So we can take 35 and multiply that by 6 to get 210. And to find the decrease in amount, we do just the opposite. You can take 100%, subtract that by 28%, and multiply by the original amount, 85. So 100% subtract 28% is 72%. So I'm just going to go write 72 over 100 times 85. And then I'm going to simplify 85 with 100. Now 85 divided by 5 is 17. 100 divided by 5 is 20. And then we're going to simplify 72 with 20. 20 divided by 4 will be 5. 72 divided by 4 will be 18. And that's all we can do. 18 times 17 will be 306. So 306 over 5. And then we divide 306 by 5. We should get a very nice number, decimal number. Okay, 6, 5, 1, bring down a 0, 61.2. That's your new amount. And if you do the other method, you would get the same answer. So it will be 85 minus 85 times 28%. So 85 over times 28 over 100. And after you simplify 28 with 100, 700 divided by 4 is 25. And we can simplify 25 with 85 to get 17 and 5. So 85 subtract 119 over 5. Okay, and then this looks a little messy, but that's okay. Okay, I'm going to rewrite this here. So that would be 425 subtract 119. You will get 306 as well over 5. So it's the same thing as this step over here, and you should get 61.2 as well. So as you can see, the first method is easier. Okay, now we're going to do another practice. Okay, we're going to decrease 125, okay, the original amount, by 36%. So we can take 100%, subtract 36%, and then multiply that by the original amount. Okay, this is the original, times 125. 100%, subtract 36% is just 64%. And we write 64% as a fraction. And then I'm going to simplify before I multiply. 100 divided by 25 is 4. 100 divided by 25 is 5. And then I can simplify 64 with 4. That's 16. And then I can multiply 16 with 5 to get 80. That's my new amount. So from 125 to 80. Word problems. Action sports. There are about 198,000 spectators at an action sports event in 1995. The number of spectators increased by about 12% from 1995 to 2002. About how many spectators were there in 2002? So 198,000 spectators was the original amount of people in 1995. And now you need to find the new amount of spectators in 2002. So the number increased by 12%. So we can take 100%, add 12%, and multiply by the original amount of 198,000 spectators. So 100% plus 12% is just 112%, and I can go ahead and write that as a fraction. And I can simplify. Cross out the two zeros, and I just have to multiply 112 by 1980. And let's work that out. So it's 22176, and we need to add another 0, spectators in 2002. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and erase this. Music. In 1983, the average price of an audio CD was $21.50. By 2000, the average price had decreased by 34.8%. What was the average price of a CD in 2002? So we need to find a new amount, and this new amount will have decreased. And the original amount was $25.50. And the amount of decrease was 34.8%. So we can go ahead and take 100%, subtract that by 34.8%, and multiply by $21.50. 100% subtract 34.8% is just 65.2%. I'm going to just write that over 100. Okay, we copy $21 $14.50. And since I have two decimal numbers, it's too much work to simplify, so I'm just going to go ahead and shift the decimal place 2 places to the left, 465.2. So get 0.652 times 21.5. Okay, this is multiply. And just go ahead and just use multiplication. 652.215. Notice I took out the decimal signs. I don't want to worry about it right now. Okay, 10, 6, 30, 32, 2, 5, 6, and then 4, 10, 13, 0, 8, 11, 10, 4, 1. And now I have 3 decimal places plus 1 decimal place here, 4 decimal places in all, 2, 3, 4. So my new amount should be about $14.02.